So Perfumer Byblis is the newest 5-star limited hero that was released in E7 recently, 2 to 3 weeks ago. We've got to play around her for a few weeks already. Fire Soul Weaver, and she's insanely busted. She's arguably like the most busted unit in the game right now, and has like the highest win rate, which is about 56%, higher than any other hero in the game right now. So the reason why she's busted is like every single one of her skills is so good. They do have like one slight downside to each skill, but the skills themselves are like, the other part of the skills themselves is like so good that it doesn't really matter. So arguably the most busted part of her kit, well, definitely is the most busted part of her kit, her passive. So it does two things. One, the passive, the pure passive side gives every single ally one stack of this undispellable buff every time an opponent takes a turn. So it increases max health by 5% and reflects 8% of damage back to the casters. This stacks up to 5 times. So against extra turn units, you'll basically get 2 stacks of this before they even get to do anything, which will increase your health by up to 5 stacks, so up to 25% and up to 40% reflected damage. So this is insane, especially the most meta DPS, like in the previous season, has been Freerin, and she just completely counters Freerin because she basically dies in like 1 or 2 turns if your team has Byblis, because she just can't take all the reflected damage back. She deals too much, and she's usually built with very, very low HP. So yeah. This also works with like other AoE cleave like units, squishy cleave units, and it just absolutely makes them unplayable against Byblis. That's the first thing. That's only one part of her passive. The second part is an active ability. When any ally reduces to 50% or lower HP after being attacked, we dispel 2 debuffs from all allies and recover health and grant a barrier. So the downside to this active skill, the active portion, is that it's only it has a long 3-turn cooldown for a passive ability, and also the fact that she does not cleanse herself before she uses this. So if she gets like stunned before she gets to, when she uses this ability, it does nothing and it goes on cooldown. So yeah, that's like the biggest downside of this passive, but it's so good. Like there's also a passive like heal, so you don't even have to press a button, waste your turn to heal your ally. But having a stun is like, yeah, whatever, like she needs a counter, because otherwise the passive would be way too broken, even though it is extremely broken already. So skill 3 is also very strong, increases effectiveness for 3 turns, so she is a debuffer, and getting 50 free gear score for free, like without doing anything, is always very welcome. There's a soft CC, redirected provoke, so it targets the ally with the highest health instead of her, and 100% chance to inflict 2 venom effects for 2 turns. So each stack of venom does 10% per turn, so since it's 2 turns and 2 each, it will do 40%, where she detonates the venom on all targets, and it applies that injury to all the heroes. So extremely strong damage and soft CC. The only unfortunate part of this skill 3 is that it does not strip immunity, so you need to find a way to get rid of immunity for this to work. And this especially works well for against Notos if you somehow strip the immunity again, because most Notosses are on immunity, and makes it so that he can't S3 on the first turn. Yeah. And of course we have the classic Smilegate broken skill 1, like by itself it's just a 75% defense break for 1 turn, which doesn't sound that amazing. But then you see the soul burn effect. Only 10 souls, you trigger a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack for only 10 souls, with a defense break. So yeah, this has like basically a high chance of just one-shotting an enemy like unit that's not a tank, that doesn't have immunity, because defense break into highest attack ally, boom, dead. Like this design has been like on so many of the recent broken units, like yeah, this is just a really, really strong effect. And now how do we build her? So this is one of the rare units where you want both effectiveness and effect resist, like those awkward pieces that you usually can't use because they have like both F and res. These are one of the units, and she's very strong, so you should just put all your like previously unusable effectiveness and effect resistance pieces onto this unit. And also her artifact is extremely strong. Like if you have a copy, just bottle it. Like it's so good. Just 100% chance of dispel 1. Like every 3 turns, 20% push and 100% chances to spell 1. Like it's insane. Like you have to plus 30 this artifact. You can see that I have 0 ER and 100 effectiveness. Like it's good to have 100 ER and 100 effectiveness together with decent speed, decent HP, like decent bulk basically. But my fast protection gear doesn't really have like much ER on it, so I decided to just gem out the ER that I did have for flat HP, because like if you don't have like at least 100 ER is kind of a useless stat. But if you do have, you can also run on speed set, and I know lots of people will have like speed set pieces with both ER and effectiveness on them, like 20 ER, 20 effectiveness, and they're like, ah, this piece is shit. But like the gear score is so high that I can't just sell it. Like this is a perfect unit to use those speed set pieces on. You can put on protection set, speed set. You want immunity on her for sure. Like, yeah. So the stats I'd say you minimum was she has really low base HP, like 5300 and something. So minimum base stats I would have on her is like minimum 1800 defense, minimum 20,000 health, minimum 200 speed. You don't need any crit, and I'd say minimum 100 effectiveness, and optionally 100 ER as well. Like 100 ER is like the most optional out of all those, but it's always nice to have 100 F plus 100 ER with like decent bulk and decent speed on this unit. And as an example, instead of having your Byblis and protection immunity like I do have right now, you can go speed set immunity with around these stats is nice, like 1800, 21.5k, 211 speed, 126 F, so when she presses S3 she'll have like 170, and about 100 ER, so a bit like 88 isn't ideal, so if you can get this to like 100, that would be perfect.